Why are we even talking about Joe Burrow possibly being the MVP? Saying that, oh, his team was coming back from the depths, and if he bring them into the playoffs, then he should be the... If that's the case, then Tua should be considered to be an MVP. Because when Tua left, the Dolphins had no chance. They were dead in the water. No pun intended. The Dolphins had no chance of winning. They had no chance of getting in the playoffs. And they now, since Tua came back, have a better chance of getting into the playoffs than the Bengals. You see, I'm starting to realize that NFL and these media heads have a bias, right? It's not really a bias against or such and such. It's that they have this narrative that there's 4 godly quarterbacks in NFL right now. Patrick Mahomes, of course, Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson, MVP, two times, MVP3, because he's definitely going to win his 3rd one sooner or later. They want to say Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. But what's the case for Josh Allen and Joe Burrow? Because Lamar won 2 MVP and a unanimous MVP, that being said. And Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl 1 time, and he went to the AFC Championship game. Whap, whap. You know who also did it? Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy went to the Super Bowl twice, and he brought Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl to overtime. You know who also went to the Super Bowl and never won? Jalen Hurts. Why isn't he considered one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL right now? Oh, because they want the image. They want to keep that image of the 4 horsemen. They want to keep the image of the 4 horsemen, and they've just been enamored by Joe Burrow. You know what really gets me? Because it's not just those 4. Before last year, they asked who are the top 5 quarterbacks. And some people didn't even have Lamar Jackson in their top 5. They had Joe Burrow right after Patrick Mahomes. Last year. Not this season, last season. And they had they didn't even have Jalen Hurts. They had that guy from the Chargers. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Remind me when you come back to me. The pretty boy from the Chargers. The one with the long hair. Some of them had Trevor Noah. The image of a quarterback is so important to them. You know what I mean? The image of a quarterback is so important to them that they had this guy from the Chargers in their top 5s. And that guy never won a playoff game to this day. He never won. His biggest playoff highlights is having a 5-touchdown comeback on him. 4 touchdown, whatever. I don't care. Right? That's his biggest, Herbert. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert never won a playoff game to this day, and they had him in their top 5 above Lamar Jackson. Because the image of Lamar Jackson just don't fit. The image of Lamar Jackson just don't fit. That they don't want to say that they want the image of putting Josh Allen in there. They want the image of the 4 quarterbacks. But they're like, now I'm here to say, oh, if you turn on the tape, Josh Allen. When have Josh Allen ever looked better than Lamar Jackson on tape? When? When has that ever happened? When have Josh Allen ever looked better on tape than Lamar Jackson? Well, you heard of somebody once? A lot of people do that. Lamar Jackson is a better runner than 80% of the running backs. And when I mean a better runner, I mean not just that you have running yards like Patrick Mahomes, like you just run and slide. No, he juke, stiff arm, and get busy. Like if he was a running back, he would have been a top 5 running back. If Lamar Jackson was a running back, he would have been a top 5 running back. Lamar Jackson, I believe, can play a wide receiver position. Lamar Jackson is probably the best football player in the NFL right now because he could play multiple positions. He is just the quarterback. That's his position. Let's keep it right there. Right? Lamar Jackson is the MVP. He's the best football player in the NFL. And everybody else is having a bias because the only thing I will accept is voter fatigue. Voter fatigue. Yes, Lamar Jackson had a couple of times and somebody else is close, so you want to edge it to them. But that's dangerous because the same argument you have for Josh Allen being MVP is the same argument that Patrick Mahomes should win another MVP. Josh Allen lost to Lamar Jackson. Right. But he has 2 more victories. He have 2 less losses. Right. He have the Bills is 11-3 from what my camera was 13-3, and the Ravens is something and 5. They have 5 losses. The Bills have 3 losses. Okay. We hear you. Well, Josh Allen and the Bills beat the Chiefs, but the Chiefs have 2 less losses. By that same logic, the Chiefs have 2 less losses. Well, so Josh Allen have less talent. Don't Patrick Mahomes have less talent now? Didn't he lose his receivers? But didn't he lose receivers the teams would have this year through injury? So Patrick Mahomes, by the same argument you used for Josh Allen against Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, well, Josh Allen have better stats than Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson have historically better stats than Josh Allen. So you can't use stats because Lamar Jackson eclipsed Lamar Jackson's stats over Josh Allen. Josh Allen's stats over Patrick Mahomes. So you want to use the two more victories, right? 2 more victories in favor for Josh. Well, guess who have less stats than Josh, but have 2 more victories, and he's more important. But if you take Josh Allen off the team, there's no way they win. You think you take Patrick Mahomes off the Chiefs, and they're winning? You think you take Patrick Mahomes off the Chiefs, and they're winning? They're not a playoff team. If Patrick Mahomes wasn't on the Chiefs, they will be in the top 5 draft picks. They're not, even with Kelsey. They got Hopkins this year. And Hopkins isn't like how he was before, just destroying people. He's their best receiver. So what are you talking about? Coaching? Okay, all right, I'll give you that one. So the case, they want to add these people that they fell in love with into the conversation because they know that if their career ended today, Josh Allen will be forgotten. He's not going to be remembered. He's not going to go to the Hall of Fame because he had he's not even a Pro Bowler. He's not even an All-Pro. So they want Josh Allen to get an All-Pro and an MVP. So because if you win the MVP, you're going to be first team player, team All-Pro for a quarterback. That is just what it is. So they want Josh Allen to be All-Pro and get MVP, so he can have something to say, rest his head on. But if it ended today, Joe Burrow is not going to Hall of Fame. Why? He went to he had stats and he went to the Super Bowl one time years ago. You know who went to the Super Bowl and they're trying to keep him out the Hall of Fame? Eli Manning. Eli Manning went to the Super Bowl and beat Tom Brady. Eli Manning is a 2-time the child. Thank you. This guy's honking his horn and I see a child walking across the road. The child, B. Pay attention. It's crazy. You gotta be careful out here with these people. There's a child crossing the street and homie want me to run the child over. Come on, bro. Come on. Anyway, I'm getting kind of distracted. Let's go back to the situation. Lamar Jackson has a better MVP case than Josh Allen. Now, with everything in consideration, what we want to say is if Josh Allen win it, we're not going to blow our heads off because he is credible enough for winning, right? And you're not going to move the goalpost and try to discredit Lamar Jackson. So if you want, just say you want to give it to Josh Allen. Because you're going to be like, Lamar won last year and his stats wasn't. That's because nobody had good stats. Josh Allen team was a loser, had a losing record to the end of the season. The Bills was losing. I know, I live in New York. The Bills was not doing good last year until the end. And the only reason why the Bills was winning at the end is because they took the ball out of Josh Allen's hand. They took the ball and decided to become a running team first. And that's because I remember because they was not passing the ball to his wide receiver, what's his name, Diggs. I remember. They're saying Diggs wasn't getting his touches, so they got upset. Josh Allen wasn't passing the ball like that. He wasn't diming people up. They took the ball out of Josh Allen's hand, and that's how the Bills got into the playoffs last year. Because the best team in their division were the Dolphins most of the years. The Dolphins were putting up historically great numbers. Tua was doing this thing. He just get hurt a lot. Well, that's it. I'm not going to call racism. I'm just saying that they have an image and they want to keep these people that, in their hearts in that question, because they want to, it's just that it's not a racism, because they want to do the same for Caleb Williams. They want to do the same thing for Caleb Williams. They want to keep Caleb Williams in the image, but Caleb Williams is just not doing it. He's just not that guy. Just because you love him doesn't mean that he's that guy. He's not that guy. Josh Allen is amazing, but he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not in Lamar Jackson class. He's a class below. Joe Burrow is a class below. You understand? Patrick Mahomes. They don't want to get to the conversation that Lamar Jackson is the guy to rival Patrick Mahomes. They don't want to make it get there. Because if Lamar Jackson wins his third MVP at this moment, and if he go off to win the Super Bowl, it would be Lamar Jackson, 3 MVPs, Patrick Mahomes, 3 Super Bowl, and they will both be the only 2 MVP Super Bowl winner besides Jets, Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, his time is going down. Anyway, I'm about to let you go because the cops are coming. Haha.